In August 2023, India landed Chandrayaan-3 on the lunar South Pole. It was a mission that forced the world's leading space powers to recognize a new, highly capable peer in the most difficult terrain of the Moon. They successfully executed a deep space maneuver that had previously been the exclusive domain of only 3 other nations. The true shock to the global aerospace industry was the receipt. The entire mission cost roughly $75 million. To put that number in perspective, the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, soft-landed hardware on a celestial body for less money than it cost to produce the sci-fi film Interstellar. Frugal engineering is India's trademark, but as the space sector becomes a high-capital commercial economy, that signature trait poses a problem. Being the cheapest may no longer be an advantage. Israel's low costs are the result of a culture established by founders like Vikram Sarabhai, who built India's space program out of strict economic necessity. That necessity forced a reliance on extreme indigenization. ISRO builds critical components through domestic manufacturing and uses older, highly proven technology instead of designing every system from scratch. To save money and fuel, Chandrayaan-3 spent 40 days executing widening elliptical orbits, using Earth's gravity to slingshot to the Moon. Contrast this with Russia's Luna 25, which used brute force thrusters in a direct path to reach the Moon in 10 days. Russia's heavy fuel approach cost nearly $200 million. Ultimately, it crashed on the Moon. Time-heavy, fuel-light strategies are effective for one-off exploratory science missions, but that slow, methodical approach falls apart when applied to the rapid, high-volume logistics required for a modern commercial space industry. Comparing annual budgets, India operates on roughly $1.6 billion, a fraction of the $18 billion allocated to China and $25 billion spent by NASA. But surviving the next era of reusable rockets and satellite constellations demands massive upfront capital and deep research reserves. Reusability requires destructive trial-and-error testing. That development style is a direct conflict with ISRO's traditional model, which relies on minimizing ground tests and taking slow, calculated risks to protect a limited budget. The capability gap is already visible in the hardware. ISRO's heaviest rocket, the LVM-3, lifts about 8,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit. Competitors like SpaceX's Falcon 9 routinely carry nearly 23,000 kilograms. India cannot frugal its way to a reusable next-generation launch vehicle or deep space infrastructure. Remaining competitive requires a different financial model. To escape the low-budget trap, India is changing its space business model, pivoting away from a purely state-run monopoly toward a private ecosystem. They established New Space India Limited as a commercial arm to sell launch services, transfer state-developed technology to private industry, and build demand-driven satellites for corporate clients. They also created IN-Space, a specialized regulatory body designed to authorize and foster a domestic private space startup sector. Instead of building and launching everything in-house, ISRO is transitioning into an anchor client. They are now paying private Indian companies to handle standard low Earth orbit tasks. Inviting private investment and offloading routine commercial launches is the strategy India is using to protect its state budget. It allows the government to focus its limited funds on the next generation of complex scientific breakthroughs. With those resources refocused, ISRO is targeting heavy-duty science. They are pushing forward with the Mangalyaan human spaceflight program and developing a reusable next-generation launch vehicle. These ambitions build toward a clear objective: establishing an Indian space station and returning physical samples from the Moon. The Chandrayaan-3 landing showed that India can do more with less. But to survive the next decade, the agency will have to learn how to do more with more. As the commercial space race accelerates, a nation built on extreme frugality must now find a way to outscale private billionaires and massive state budgets.